Well, hello. How is everybody doing? Please, if someone can let me know if my sound is coming through okay. It is great to be back. The Landy Lodge, episode 140, coming at you. But before we get started, we got a few people to thank. The first person we need to thank is my loving wife and the lady of the lodge, Charlotte, who the only reason you guys have been getting content and the only reason we're doing this stream here today is because of her and her investment in this laptop. Once I got my Wi-Fi back, I completely blew the motherboard in my PC. So I'm not going to have that back until next week, but I'm happy to report that that's not going to stop us from moving forward. That's not going to stop us from talking about these topics. That's not going to stop us from talking about what we love. But there's something else I would like to share. That in the 6 weeks that we were mostly out of commission, at least as far as live streams were concerned, none of the sages of the lodge dropped when they had every reason to. So without any further ado, let's give a lot of love and shout out to the sages of the lodge, that being David, Scott, Jill, Shane, Corey, Nick Taborski, Kevin, Michael, Brendan. I don't know why I said Taborski's last name, but you know what? Creature of habit. Blaze Does Gaming, Jack 2 Park, Brady Burleson, Lands of Masters, Seaman, The Hidden One, Billy the Kid, Lawrence, Grey Goose, Lamb, Gaseous Snake, Jan Van S, DJ Ghoul, Corey Sarakis, Jordan Krupka, Mookie, and Orpheus Joshua. And another shout out to Orpheus Joshua for giving the Midgar Minute a shout out today on Twitter. Anyway, that's the story, guys. I know I've been relatively out of commission since the hurricane, but I'm happy to report that you could expect us to be right back in the swing of it. Let's see who's in here today. What's going on, Black Red Pill 2? What's going on, Corey, Shadow Flare, Seaman, OJ, Hillary? Oh, wow, we got a lot of early birds. Just a Waffle is in here. Whoop, don't want to put too much pressure on that. And how's the sound, guys? Let me make sure my sound's coming in okay before we really get into it. And you know what? I took some notes. I may have to get up and find my notebook, because I did take some notes about today's topic, because I'm excited to talk about it. Of course, we're talking about the Master of Masters and Yozora, who, you know, for every implication you could possibly get, it's very heavily implied that they are going to be a major part of the next saga. And the sheer fact that both of them are in Quadratum at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3, right? Kingdom Hearts is very good at letting you know where the future of the series is going in some of its final cutscenes, and seeing that both the Masters and Yozora are in Quadratum immediately tells you that there's got to be some connection between the two. So today's episode is really going to be a big brainstorm where we're just going over all the possible ways the Master of Masters and Yozora could be connected. This goes from everything from, things that connect with the lore, and there are even some things that I think connect them in a fourth wall sense. But we're going to get into that. You'll have to excuse me for a second because I dropped my books right back here. Let me grab it. There we go. And yes, for all you Zelda fans out there, you might appreciate this. And as you can see, I have a thing or two for the all-seeing eye. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, let me get my notes out here. I swear, there was one night, I couldn't sleep, so I just started jotting down random notes like a madman. But anyway, let's just start with the sheer fact. Let's go. So, when we first meet Yozora, he makes it very clear that the appearance we see him as is not who he really is. You know, this isn't what I really look like. So it begs the question of where that appearance came from. Now, this isn't an original theory of mine at all, but I have seen the idea thrown around that Yozora's body could be the Master of Masters' body. Because think about it, at the end of the day, they want us to get used to the way Yozora looks. Like, they bring a lot of attention to his appearance, right? When we first see the commercial in Toy Box, when we first see that, they bring a lot of attention to his appearance, whereas Rex and the characters in Toy Box see Sora as like a resemblance to Yozora. Goofy and Donald see a resemblance to Riku. So from the first moment we see this character, his appearance is the first thing that we're drawn attention to. And given that we looked his appearance, we were like, oh my god, it looks like the love child of Riku and the Master of Masters, not Riku and the Master of Masters, but Riku and Noctis, right? And, then we learned about all the connections with Versus 13, but we'll get into that down the line. But the sheer fact is, they bring all this attention to his appearance. And then when we finally get to meet the character, you want to go out, buddy? You want to go out? I got you. I got you. I got you. He asked nicely. Can't say he didn't ask nicely. Anyway, what was I saying? So, all this attention brought to his appearance. Then we meet him, and one of the first things he tells us is, this isn't what I really look like. So again, it begs the question, why draw all of this attention to his appearance? And thus, the spiraling began. Okay. So. Yeah. Oh my god. Let's spiral. So I'm going to start with what may be a sort of fourth wall angle at all of this. So, we're no stranger to the idea that the elements of Final Fantasy Versus 13 are being dragged into Kingdom Hearts. It's part of the next saga. There was one thing I always found peculiar, is that the Lost Masters arc, it sort of began right around the time Versus 13 got canned. If you technically think the Master of Masters and the Foretellers, us being introduced to them in back cover, that came out right around the time Versus 13 was not only in development, but very close to when it got canceled. So it's the timing there that makes me think that in some way the Master of Masters and Yozora may be connected. Because at the very least, they were manifested and brought to our attention at the same time. Now, given Yozora wasn't brought to our attention until Kingdom Hearts 3, but the character of Noctis, the Versus 13 that we're seeing reflected here in Kingdom Hearts 3, that was brought to our attention right around the same time that back cover movie came out. The second thing that can't be ignored is that Ray Chase is the Master of Masters voice actor. Now, the reason I bring this up is because Ray Chase went on to voice Noctis, who Yozora is based on. The character that Yozora is based on was voiced by Noctis. But before that, he got the role to voice the Master. Now, Corey Sarakis, see, this is what I was about to get into. Corey Sarakis saying Master of Masters is supposed to be FF Versus 13 Arden. Here, I'm going to cut to the chase. What if the Master of Masters, if that's actually the Versus 13 Noctis? And that's why Yozora's body looks that way, because that's the Master's body. Think about it. Master of Masters, True King, Verum Rex, kind of giving you the same idea, right? Verum Rex, True King, Master of Masters. In a way, the two of them are kind of saying the same thing. They're placing that title at the top of a hierarchy. True King, as in like King of Kings, and Master of Masters, as in the master of those who would be considered masters. So, I like the theory that Master of Masters could be a stand-in for the Versus 13 Arden, but I'm starting to wonder if he's actually a stand-in for what would be the Versus 13 Noctis. Because again, this isn't his body. So if Yozora's body isn't the one that looks like Noctis's, then whose body does it make sense to? Like, do we really think when we see Yozora the way he really is, when we see his real appearance, is the appearance we're seeing here just going to go away? I don't think so. They're doing a lot to sell us on Yozora. Why are they just going to get rid of that appearance and that design? I don't think so. I think you're going to see a trend. I don't know. It's something I've been thinking a lot about lately. Wasn't Arden the true king after all the DLC reveals? Yes, but Arden and Noctis were from the same lineage, and that was a lineage of kings. So in a sense, both of them kind of served as a true king. I don't want to get too deep into the FF15 lore just yet, but it is possible to here's why I have trouble paralleling the Master of Masters with Arden, right? Because the story of Arden is that he kind of took on all that pain and suffering, and it's that pain and suffering that distorted and twisted him. The Master of Masters seems to separate himself from that suffering, right? Like the Keyblade War, where all those children struck each other down. It's not as if every strike inflicted pain on him. He kind of separated himself from the pain and suffering. So I'm not sure yet. Corey Sarakis says, just seems like Master of Masters' personality more aligns with Arden than Noctis. Bodies can swap, but minds? Okay, interesting perspective right there. And I would agree that the Master's sort of persona and attitude definitely mirrors that of Arden more than Noctis. But we have to remember that Arden and Noctis that we know from Final Fantasy 15, that's not Nomura's Noctis. That's not Nomura's Arden. He had different ideas. But that's only just one angle, right? That's not what this whole podcast is about. That's only just one angle that the Master of Masters, given that he's voiced by Ray Chase, and given that there's a similar line between Verum Rex and Master of Masters, them both kind of implying, top of a hierarchy kind of thing. And then when we consider that this body that we've gotten used to seeing, that looks like Riku and Noctis, this isn't Yozora's body, then it has to belong to somebody important. In a way, it just had to. Although, now that I think about it, let me see this. Let me read some of the comments before I spiral there. Yep, Noctis succeeded Arden as the true king. So is Master of Masters the mentor who chooses the true king, or the true king returned? Now, there's a good question. Is he the mentor? Is he going to be the king maker? Is he choosing who the next king is, right? Like, maybe Luciu is the Arden, right? Maybe Luciu is the new Arden, or the Arden stand-in. And like you're getting at Shadowflare, maybe Master of Masters is playing Kingmaker. Or, like you said, is he the true king returned? Who knows? But anyway, that's only one particular angle of looking at it. I'm just of the mind that if this body isn't Yozora's body, whose body could it be? But then again, and you guys let me know what you think, this is one thing that always tangles me up in a sorts. So, he says this isn't what I really look like, right? But he also asks, how are you recognizing me as Yozora? So I feel like this could be taken one of two ways. I know which way is the more popular way, but I feel like that could be taken as that this is actually what Yozora looks like, and that's why Sora is able to recognize him, right? It could always mean that, right? Could be a tricky double meaning. Or it could mean, why are you calling me Yozora? This body, this shape, this isn't what Yozora is. So you never know. This is part of what makes the Master so cool and makes like Kingdom Hearts storytelling very cool lately, is a lot of this stuff can be taken double meanings, double ways, right? Think about, again, we all thought the player was Xehanort, right? That's what we were all took it to interpret as. But then when we got more context, suddenly that wasn't the case. I'm certain that won't be the last time they do that. Corey Sarakis says, I think Sora could be the Arden figure. The start of this kingly dynasty. Yozora is a descendant, and that's why he's searching for Sora. That's an interesting perspective. I mean, yeah, there's no way. If you're going to play with the words king, right? If Verum Rex means true king, we have to acknowledge that there has always been a king motif with Sora. So he wouldn't be separate from that. That's an interesting point. Grace Kim says, I love the idea of Yozora knowing who's Master of Masters. That's my other thing. I have this weird feeling they've met before. You know how we were surprised to see that young Xehanort had met the Master of Masters and the two of them kind of had a history together? I almost wonder if the Master of Masters and Yozora have previously met before. Have we considered that maybe it's the Master of Masters who told Yozora to save Sora? Either way, it's always worth looking into. Let's see here. Gotcha. Here's my next note, unless somebody's got something more on that. See, Shadowflare says, 7 crowns, 7 kings vying for the top spot, true king. You know, you never know. It could end up something like that, like the master is trying to groom somebody. And maybe Yozora is just one of his candidates. There's a fly in here, so if you see me swatting, that's what that's about. Just a Waffle says, Sora with all of the box art, sitting on his royal chair and smile evil-like. I don't think his smile's evil-like. I think it's more cocky, more confident, more sure of himself. But I don't know. Corey Saraka says, I paused God of War Ragnarok for the stream. That's how much I've missed the lodge. Dude, that means the world to me, dude. I've missed doing this. I really do love doing this kind of stuff. I love going live and talking about this stuff, playing games live, making the videos with the theories and stuff. So it's really good to be back. And it's guys like you who make it all worth it. Shadowflare says, and yeah, I do like the idea of Yozora being in Master of Masters camp. Or that he's at least using him or trying to manipulate him, you know? Anyway, there was another little parallel between the two that always caught my eye and got my attention. So the black box, right? That's considered to be like the new big mystery is the black box. Speaking of which, let's flip this over here. But that's considered to be like one of the new big mysteries, right? When we think about the two biggest mysteries going on with Kingdom Hearts, it's who is the Master of Masters and what is in that black box. And perhaps the two are connected. Perhaps one answer leads to the other. But there was something odd that always caught my attention since Kingdom Hearts 3. So the Toy Story world, we know it as Toy Box, right? And I think, if you hear me out, I think that choice of words might have been very careful, right? Toy Box. And think about it. In Pirates of the Caribbean world, they weren't looking for a chest, right? Which is the typical language in the Pirates world. No, box. So again, I think a lot of these choice of words are very deliberate. But anyway, it's inside Toy Box that we not only learn about Quadratum for the first time, we learn about Yozora for the first time. Inside Toy Box. And just seeing that Toy Box and Quadratum are connected, it makes me wonder, is that hinting at the black box and Quadratum being connected? Like, I'm willing to accept that could be looking too far into it. But seeing the Toy Box be deliberately connected to Yozora and deliberately connected to Quadratum and having that be like the precipice of the next saga and the ending of Kingdom Hearts 3, it makes me wonder if it bears any connection to the black box in a sense, thus connecting the Master of Masters and Yozora. Let's also not forget, right? And you know what? Let's flip. Let's also not forget, okay? Speaking of Toy Box. That young Xehanort was in Toy Box as well. And that young Xehanort was the one to throw Sora into the Quadratum simulation. Young Xehanort. Imagine him almost kind of acting as like a conduit or sort of like the middleman, but the middleman between Yozora and the Master of Masters, right? So here he is meeting with the Master, which we learned in Remind. And then if we look back at what he did in Toy Box, which was kind of like his world to roam among those Disney worlds, he's the one who flings Sora into the Quadratum simulation. Which again, would connect him to Yozora. See, but maybe young Shadowflare says, but maybe young Xehanort just found it rather than made it. Yeah, I'm more inclined to believe that's it. Corey Saraka says, I definitely think there's a connection between the box and Quadratum. I believe that the entrance/world of Quadratum is only accessed through the black box. Hence why Master of Masters has hidden it from the dark. And hence why he wouldn't want anybody to open it. Can't go you causing any temporal paradoxes, as he says. And let's see, where's my mouse at? Where's my mouse at? There we go. I'm missing a few messages here. I want to scroll up. Let's see. Max says, I think Yozora is in a state between life and death. His hair is a mixture of white and black. His eyes are red and blue. Similar to how Noctis's hair turned white in Versus 13 when he used his powers. Ooh. You know, I did forget about that sort of feature. How very, very interesting. Shadow Flare says, I've been suspecting Toy Box to be a test run for the world that never was. Both as attempts to make a bridge to Unreality. Brightly says the Master will definitely use the box, but why and for what? Well, that's why, you know, the idea it's connected to Quadratum or the world of fiction in some way, it works. It really could serve as like a portal between the two. Who knows? I like the idea that the darknesses might be encased in there. I always liked that theory, but honestly, it's anybody's guess. It's anybody's guess, guys. Let's see here. Black Red Pill 2. Who says, toys are models made after things people remember and tie those memories to. Could the choice of including them as a reference point to Yozora be a hint of the wrong body concept? You know, Black Red Pill 2, can you elaborate on that further? I want you to elaborate on that further if you can. I don't know if you have anything else to offer on that, because I think that's really cool, but I'm not quite understanding what you mean. Especially with, like, the wrong, like, just, if you would, because I think that's interesting. Valkyrie, how are you? Miss Valkyrie, it's great to hear from you. How have you been? How have you been? I hope you've been good lately. Mostly Last says, didn't young Xehanort also separate Toy Box into two worlds? Did he do that, or was it just that way? I don't know. But let's not forget that too. That Toy Box is like a copy of the original world, right? Andy and the other toys, they're in the original world. But Woody, you see, there's something there, guys. I'm telling you. I'm telling you there's something there. That's why we're talking about it. That's why we're talking about it. Because, you know, Mostly Last brings up a good point. Whether young Xehanort was the one to do it or not, Toy Box was split into two worlds. And you could see a lot of parallels between the two worlds Toy Box has been split into and the two worlds of, like, reality and the world of fiction. Andy and the rest of the toys are in, like, the reality, while Woody, Buzz, and everyone else are trapped in, like, the unreality version of their world. You also have that sort of parallel. And again, the choice of words. Box, not toy chest. Makes you think. Makes you think. Corey Sarakis says, I think Master of Masters doesn't want anyone to open it since the Masters are all going to become darkness soon. He doesn't want them to find him in Quadratum. It's the whole point of him going there, to escape it. That's an interesting take too. If the Master's trying to exclude himself so he would preserve himself on the other side of reality. Because it's true, Lushu did bring them to reality, not unreality. That's where he brought them back. Just a Waffle says, wonder if the union leaders will open the box. When the Master of Masters disobeys for not opening the box. I mean, who knows? Who knows? I don't know. Do they? I don't know. I think Maleficent's going to open the box. That would be my guess. I've been well. I'm happy to see you streaming. I'm happy to be streaming. It's good to be back. You know? It's good to be back. At the end of the day, I may have had to wait 7 weeks for my Wi-Fi to come back, but I had power in a few days. I had water within 12 hours. I had it very, very, very lucky, and the most important things came back first. He said he did, said Orpheus Joshua, Sage of the Lodge, coming in with that knowledge. Okay, wait, young Xehanort was the one to do it? All right. This ain't a young Xehanort stream. We're gonna have to circle back on that. Shadowflare says, so as for connections to non-realities and boxes, Schrodinger's cat box, so long as it remains unopened, unseen, it remains undefined. That's a little over my head, if I'm admitting it. I might have to look up Schrodinger's cat box. Magical Valkyrie says, how are you? I'm great. All things considered, fantastic. Black Red Pill 2 says, okay, I think this is the elaboration I asked for. If memories make form of people, right, okay, then would giving memories to a body make them the wrong body? I think similar to Shion, where she looked like Ven or Sora despite neither being her real body. Ooh. So you're saying maybe Yozora is in a situation like that? Huh. I could see that. Okay. I could see that. Same with the Master. Maybe the Master looks different depending on who's looking at him. That could be trippy. Hillary Slack says boxes that are not meant to be opened often hold all the world's evils and hope. Greek mythology right there. Open it once and you release the evil into the world. Pandora's box. Open it a second time and you lose hope. How many times has the box been opened? That's another good question that we don't know. Another thing that I think is still open for interpretation is why the box didn't exist until the Keyblade War. Where was it? Was it in like some pocket of existence that was non-existence? Why didn't it exist until after the Keyblade War? That I find very peculiar. But carrying on. Maybe Art Zeki says maybe Lushu opens a box even though Masters told him not to. Foretellers do not know it's forbidden. You know, we don't know, like that ending cutscene in Kingdom Hearts 3, we don't know when that takes place. Because we know there's a 1-year time skip, right, with Melody of Memory. Where does that take place? Does it happen right after Kingdom Hearts 3? Does it happen 6 months? We don't really know. Shadowflare says, but splitting the cat box into 2 realities would maintain that uncertainty, right? It would. It would. Based, if I'm remembering what your original message said properly, then now that makes sense to me. Billy the Kid Lawrence, another Sage of the Lodge, says, I can't super chat today. Tight this month, but much love, man. Dude, don't. It's never an expectation. I want that to be clear. It's never an expectation, so you don't need to explain yourself. But I appreciate it, my man. I'm just happy you're here. And you're a Sage of the Lodge, man. You've already reached in your pocket for me. You don't got it. Just like with the box. You do it twice, bad shit happens. Only do it once. We're fine. Thanks for being here, though, dog. I'm really happy you're here. Max says maybe there are also 2 versions of Quadratum. The real version we see in Kingdom Hearts 4 and the false version. Ooh. Or maybe a data version. I've always believed there are 2 Quadratums. I've always believed it. Mostly Last says 2 toy boxes, 2 Scalas. Yeah, but the 2 Scalas are 2 different times. Whereas I believe the 2 toy boxes are same time, different place. Kari Saraka says, I dressed my bulldog up as Donald Duck for Halloween this year. She hated it, but she probably looked adorable. Karina Sanchez says, what if it's the same for the Masters? He doesn't have a form until he removed the cloak. Yeah. I think I was bringing that up earlier when we were talking about that a little bit. Like, what if under that cloak it's really just different depending on who's looking at him? All right, let's keep moving. Kai the Player, ladies and gentlemen. Please follow my man Kai the Player. He puts out a lot of great content. He covers a lot of Square Enix stuff. So if you're into stuff like Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts, Kai the Player. Great channel to follow. We've had him on the podcast before. He's a great guest. Kai the Player says, I just heard of the cat box theory. It's interesting. Yeah, I just heard it too. Brought up here in my chat, which is, again, why I'm glad I've opened the podcast to the live chat, because people show up here with some amazing ideas. Heck yeah, brothers. Your positive energy always puts a smile on my face. That's what I'm here to do, man. That's what I'm here to do. There's a lot of responsibilities in the world. It's a lot to maintain. Everyone's got a lot to keep up with. I'm here for people just to have a good time. Get away from it for a little bit. And they get right back to it. Hillary Slack says maybe the reason that the box disappeared is that someone opened the box a second time and lost hope. You know, Hillary, now I'm wondering if we're going to see, like, yo, imagine Brain opens the box in Missing Link. Could you imagine that? Lamb, Sage of the Lodge, you were in the Final Fantasy stream earlier. Says, hello again. So sorry for coming late. I was busy playing Sonic Frontiers. How is Sonic Frontiers? I want to give that game a shot. I might just be waiting for the price to drop. It's just not a day one buy for me. Cat in the box and even Jack in the box. That's funny. Where can I read this cat box theory? Says Adonai. I would second that. If anybody has a link to the cat box theory, I'd be happy to pull it up. We can definitely go over it. Max says, I think the secret ending could take place during the 7 days sleep of Sora. Sleep and death are closely connected with each other, and that's how Riku was able to reach Quadratum thanks to Sora's dream. And thanks to Riku's dreams as well, too, right? That's an interesting way to put it. Yeah, because in your sleep and death touch, Quadratum is like this world of death. When they overlap in the dreams, they're able to... Okay. Interesting. But who knows? Who knows? Some people think that Smash might take place in the 7 days Sora was asleep. They could do a lot with that, honestly. They did that with Final Fantasy XV in like the novelization during the time Noctis is asleep. They kind of work with something like that. But ultimately, you know, it's hard for me not to think that in some way the Master and Yozora aren't connected. Because again, they, like, if everything points to something, right? The two of them hold similar titles, right? Yozora, Verum Rex, True King, Master of Masters, right? They're both in Quadratum and both have that association with Quadratum. Their bodies are a mystery, right? What their true bodies are, what their true appearance is a mystery. There's so much overlap between the two players. There's so much overlap between the two characters, and a lot of their mysteries are similar, right? I mean, they both have ties to Versus 13 and Final Fantasy 15. It's just so hard. It's just so hard not to see the overlap between the two. But let's see. Ardziki says, yeah, I really hope Maleficent opens it and Pete gets his chance to shine, stealing the box from Lucio. Maleficent needs a chance to shine. I want her to be a credible threat. If she's not a credible threat, then she's a waste of screen time. Valkyrie says, hey, Landy, I got a question for you. Do you think Riku is related to Ephemer and Xehanort in some way because of the hair color and potential lineage? Yeah. I think I would bet on it. I'm not saying it's certain, but Valkyrie, I would absolutely bet on it. Because they've given you those sort of like cinematic illusions, right? Where someone will be looking at Riku and it'll fade and like flash as Xehanort. They both have similar ambitions from the time they're kids. Never know. You never know. Let's keep rolling. Kai the player says, it's referred to as Schrodinger cat experiment. Yeah, if anyone could pull that up, that'd be cool. Billy the Kid says, and it's then revealed that they're canon data recreations, an alternate timeline, or the fictional versions of Kingdom Hearts and Quadratum. Again, I think... Hold on, what the hell is this? Get that out of here. Where is I going with that? You know, it'll be interesting, right? Because we have to see fictional, right? World of fiction. Does the world of fiction see itself as fiction? Right? Sterlitzia is able to see that world as like a realm of death, but I'm wondering, like, what do its normal citizens, who maybe didn't get there by way of dying, how do they see it? Who knows, right? Let's see. Shadowflare says, Master of Masters has long been wary of Maleficent. I too hope she opens the black box. I would like to see them interact. You know, Darkness has interacted with Maleficent before. So she's already kind of entangled in that Master of Masters and Darkness battle. It's interesting. Maleficent is the only character that's been in every Kingdom Hearts game. Is that right? Sora hasn't been in every game? Yeah, he's not in Union Cross. That's a good point. He's not in Union Cross. Wow. I think you're right. I think you're right, Hillary. All right. Billy Kid says, first part of Prime message that didn't go through before. Imagine if they remade Kingdom Hearts 1, Kingdom Hearts 2 on Unreal Engine 5, and then some weird stuff that never happened in those games happens. See, I don't know if I'd be a big fan of that. I don't think Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 need to be remade. Remasters are cool. But what I like about Kingdom Hearts is that it's one timeline. Of course, it's always subject to change, and things can always be done tastefully. But if they remade KH1 and KH2 and started like changing stuff, I think that would get too confusing. Let's see. And then you said, and it's revealed that they're canon data recreations and a fictional timeline part. Oh, now I see the whole idea put together. Okay, that's really cool. That's pretty creative too. Sarah Yu says, I still think Yozora and Odin have a significant connection. They focus on those two eyes too much. Yozora and Odin. Yeah, you know, we never saw Odin's other eye. They kept one of Odin's eyes hidden the whole time. I'm still curious about that. Okay. Black Red Pill 2 says, given how many died in the initial Keyblade War, would it be possible then that nearly everyone in Quadratum is from the war? So I want to believe that, because I actually think that's a really cool concept. But when I think of that trailer, some of those people just look a little too normy. You know what I mean? They don't have like that Sora flair, but maybe they've just been incarnated in that world so much. They've just been like, they've been grinded down into normies. That's interesting. Patari says, for some reason, I believe the Master of Masters does not believe in the light of Kingdom Hearts. I don't know why, just a feeling. Yeah, because I feel like Sora, I like this a lot, Patari. Because, yeah, it's this desire to become that ultimate power. For Kingdom Hearts to not be the ultimate power, but to be the source for the ultimate power. Kind of what Xehanort was trying to do. But I'm with you there, Patari. I think that's viable. Let's see. I don't think they need to be remade either. I just think it'd be hilarious if they were and Nomura just had to make them weirdly new canon. Yeah, or if it was like somebody's retelling of the games and like through a game of telephone, it got all whacked out. I think Nomura said in an interview that the residents of Quadratum see their world as reality. Yeah, I do remember seeing this. And the Kingdom Hearts side is Unreality. They could make some really cool conflicts out of it. Yeah. It's almost like it's a feedback loop, where both angles keep looking at the other angle as fiction and seeing themselves as the reality, throwing into the fray what the difference between reality and fiction is, by the way. Which again is kind of crazy. Okay, I am running low on water here, so we're going to take a brief break. I'm going to go fetch some water, and we'll keep getting to it. We still got plenty more to talk about. Okay, thank you. Thank you for waiting, everybody. We are back. We are hydrated. We are chilling. All right, let me see. What did I miss here? Sar IU, building off their last message, says, Master of Masters actually refers to it as the false light. You know, that's what's tricky, right? Like, we don't know exactly what he's referring to as the false light, right? We can make good guesses. It could be Kingdom Hearts. Maybe that Kingdom Hearts isn't the real Kingdom Hearts. Maybe he's talking about Sora. Who knows? It's a peculiar line that I think warrants a lot of curiosity, and I hope it's something we learn more about down the line. Hillary Slack says, does Master of Masters actually believe what he said about false light, or was he just trying to cause Xehanort to do a Keyblade war? And Hillary, that right there is exactly what makes the Master of Masters such a fun and interesting character, is that you don't know if he's being disingenuous or not. You really don't. He's hard to read. You have no idea if he's being genuine or disingenuous. So yeah, we don't know. He may not think it's a false light, but he may have been saying that, like you said, to entice Xehanort. Okay, Toy Box Sora is actually how Yozora looks. Huh. This is an actual fact if you pay attention. Okay. You're saying Toy Box Sora is actually how Yozora looks? So like the Lego looking Sora? Or are you saying that Lego looking Sora is like a Lego representation of what Yozora would look like? Now I'm curious. Shadowflare says, funny thing, a recent Nobel Prize was awarded for disproving the main argument for quantum determination, making our universe less real than Kingdom Hearts with its predetermined world lines. I guess because our world is a little bit more fluent, it makes it less real, I guess because it's less concrete. That's how I'm understanding that. Sorry, says, that's a very good question. I think with Nomura heavily hinting at Master of Masters being some form of Lucifer, you don't got to convince me on that. Or light itself, don't got to convince me on that. With the whole Seven Sins thing, then it's possible it's just another trick. He's a trickster. He's an archetypical trickster. Make no mistake. He also says Keyblades are not supposed to protect. They're not for protecting Kingdom Hearts, as he says. The fit looks nothing like Quadratum Sora. Interesting. But are you saying Yozora would be a Lego person? Or are you saying like Lego Sora would be what Yozora looks like in that world? How trippy is it going to be if Sora stops at Quadratum GameStop and sees Kingdom Hearts on display? I think that's what him seeing Verum Rex is, Billy. I think that's what him seeing Verum Rex is supposed to be. It's because he's wearing Yozora's clothes and Yozora looks like Sora. Again, if you just answer that one part, I think I might be with you. He also stated Keyblades are not for Kingdom Hearts protection. Yes, he brought that up. Welcome back to Child. It's good to be back. It's good to see you. Karina says, is there a link to the Discord? Let me get that for you. Let me fetch that for you real quick. I will get it for you. But while I'm getting that, let's see what else we got. I wonder if Sigurd is helping the Master of Masters. You know, we have to wonder. He's a curious character now, too. One whose appearance we don't know. Again, very curious. Okay. Let's go down. I'm just fetching that Discord link for you. Okay. Invite people. Cool. I'm going to drop this in the restream chat. So anybody who's listening, whether you're on Twitch, whether you're on YouTube, you can check this out. There's the Discord. All right. And with that said, let's get back into it here. Okay. Where did I miss it? There we go. Sigurd. I believe that Sora and Yozora look the same as well. Yeah, I do want to talk about that, right? Like, this is what I'm saying. What if... We'll get into it. When I have some visual aids I could put on the screen, we can get into it. I think he's referring to how Rex stated Sora was Yozora, so maybe Sora's appearance in that world outfit plus his look. Yeah, I think that's what he's getting at. Black Red Pill 2 says, given light and darkness is supposed to be in balance, wouldn't that make false light the light that tries to destroy darkness instead of harmonize with it? Yes, Black Red Pill 2, I think that's a great point. A false light would try to eliminate darkness instead of existing in balance with it. I like that. Okay. Toy Sora cannot be Yozora. He was told to save Sora. Yeah, because then I guess if he saw him, he'd be like, hey, that's me. I'm supposed to look like that. What the hell? Keyblade Master, that's a very good point. I don't get me wrong. I like the Yozora and Sora look the same theory. But that's my biggest issue with it. Is that how come when Yozora saw Sora, he wasn't like, why do you look like me? Karina Sanchez says, I have a half-baked theory concerning the no name being possibly translated to Goat of Atonement and how it relates to the biblical ceremony. But I'd rather write it out on the Discord. Go for it. I would actually love to read up on that. Okay. KH Guides! Hey! Everybody, please make sure you're following my buddy KH Guides. Whether it's on YouTube or Twitch, the guy makes amazing content. So you definitely need to check out his channel. Both platforms, YouTube and Twitch, KH Guides. Dude is awesome. He's been on the podcast and crushed it every time. Dude, it's great to see you. Absolutely great to see you. Geo Review says Rex played the game and got to fight Bahamut. So he played Yozora's whole story. Does Sora look like the Yozora we saw? No. Rex recognized Sora as Yozora, the name and his face and clothes. See, it's like, that makes sense to me. That makes sense to me. But then, why didn't Yozora, when he saw Sora, go, why do you look like me? When he was like, this isn't what I really look like. I really look like you. You know? I don't know. Give me an answer for that, and I'm sold. Give me an answer for that, and I am sold on that theory. I think it was the brief clip of Yozora in the secret ending. Let's see. What's going on, John Beeson? Sarah Yu says, if I remember right, Sigurd voiced the trailer. So he has to be of some significance to the plot. Yeah, Sigurd's going to be a new big player. 100%. Don't be surprised if he's Lushu. Wouldn't that be funny if, like, Lushu steals Brain's body, recompletes him in Scala, and then Lushu's just there to pick him up? Like, hey, buddy, good to see you. You never know. See, this is Art Ziki says, my biggest critique there. If Yozora looks like Sora, wouldn't he be asking why Sora looks like him? Billy the Kid, would a never gonna happen scenario. Sora goes to Marvel World and meets Deadpool. God, I'd love it. They break the fourth wall together. Sora looks and says through the screen, shout out to the Landy and the sages of the line. I'd die. On the spot. I'm out. Just a Waffle says, and even the D World Park 2, when a lot of fan art of Sora is... Not quite sure what you're getting at there. Just a Waffle. Billy the Kid says, man, I really want a Slinky Dog summon that's more like an offensive version of the Arrow spell. Slinky Dog summon would be dope. Or Zerg. I want a Zerg boss fight. Sarah Yu says, but maybe that's why Yozora was so skeptical when he met Sora. To be honest, I remember them talking about darkness impersonating people. Maybe Yozora thought the Sora he saw was just an illusion, hence the fight. That's always possible. Doesn't Yozora ask why Sora is using Sora's name? Is that close enough to asking why Sora looks the way he does? For someone with the personality of Yozora, careful and not trusting. I still maintain. I need an answer for that. Because again, to round it out with the topic discussion here, the idea that Sora and Yozora's appearance could be very, very similar, hence what happened in Toy Box, that leaves open Yozora's appearance to actually be what the Master of Masters looks like. It's still so funny that Yozora's first line is just like, "Hey, I see you." Very calm, very cool, very collected. Okay, yo, okay. Mostly Last did it. Mostly Last gave me the explanation I was looking for. I think I'm on board. Mostly Last says, look how different Quadratum Sora looks compared to Kingdom Hearts 3 Sora. Maybe because of the differences is why Yozora didn't realize it. I think that's it. Uh-oh. I seem to have frozen. But I think my microphone is still going. I think the microphone's still going. Okay, we're good. We're back. We're okay. I lost the chat. Oh, no. Let's check. Yeah, uh-oh. Am I still coming in? Is the stream still coming in? Let me know. We will try. I will try and fix this. Let's see. What's up with the chat? No, not that one. Can we give it a refresh? I'm going to try and get you guys back on the screen here. Just hold down. Refresh cache of current page. Come on now. Okay, hang tight. Hang tight. I should be able to get a new one in there. I should be able to get a new one in there. Hang tight. And I can still see you guys, so chat froze. Interesting. We're gonna fix it. We're gonna fix it. We're gonna fix it. Okay. You know, I really want to keep you guys on the screen here. Let's see. Give me 1 second. Okay. Okay, launch. Oh boy. I think that should be it. Okay. Let's see. Sound is still coming in just fine. That's what I like to hear. Just trying to get the chat fixed. But we'll make time for that. We'll make time for that. I think we could do it. Cool. Actually, yeah, no, I think I could do this. I think I could do this. Here we go. Come on. Oh, damn, that sucks. All right, I think we're just going to have to roll without it for now. We're just going to have to roll without it for now, but I'll still get to everybody's questions. Okay, Shadowflare says, Yozora only decided to fight Sora after being convinced he was in fact Sora. So yeah, if you only saw Sora at a different age prior, it checks out. Hillary Slack says, if Yozora looks like Sora normally, do you think it's possible there is also someone that looks like Riku? And then maybe that's why Yozora looks the way he does. See, and that's where the Verum Rex thing comes in with me too. This is why I can't help but think there might be some connection to Riku there, is because again, Verum Rex, true king. Riku was the original Keyblade wielder, right? That the Kingdom Key was rightfully his, properly bequeathed to him. It then chose Sora after Riku gave into darkness. But I can't help but think that true king homage really might have something to do with Riku. But then again, I digress, as they say. I digress. But yeah, let's see. What else we got? And Rex from Toy Box played the Verum Rex game. Yeah, that's why he, you can't really write off what he said, what Rex said. Like, you can't write it off. Because, again, he played through the whole game. He's not going to mistake Yozora for anybody. But now that Mostly Last brought that in, I'm pretty convinced. I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty convinced as far as that goes. Let's refresh the cache of the current page. Let me see if I can get that back in there. Okay, we might just have to roll without the chat for the rest, but I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be okay. Alrighty. Let's take that out. There we go. But yeah, at the end of the day, we don't really know. We don't really know. Shadowflare says, also, if Sora was dead when Yozora met him, it might conflict with what Yozora knows of Sora. That too. That too. And again, we don't know what that dreamscape exactly is, right? Billy the Kid says, gotta bounce, man. Yo, Billy, Sage of the Lodge, dude, thank you. Thank you so much for stopping by. All right. Just the Waffle says Sora, an ordinary boy, and Riku, the knight in shining armor. It's why, yeah, it's stuff like that that makes me think I can't just ignore that Riku was the rightful wielder of the kingdom key. So that whole true king, Verum Rex, might have something to do with him. I'm not sure. Nomura was conflicted with the naming of the next game. He chose KH4 instead of Verum Rex. I'm not sure that was exactly it. The way I understood it was that they didn't know what to make next, Kingdom Hearts 4 or Verum Rex. But he saw that so many people were wrapped up in Sora's fate, in what happened to Sora, they figured it was better to make Kingdom Hearts 4 first. That's the way I understood it. Not that Kingdom Hearts 4 and Verum Rex are supposed to be the same game, but that they made Kingdom Hearts 4 first because they want to settle people on what happened to Sora. Because that's what most of us are into. But then again, maybe I have it wrong. Maybe you have it right. Maybe you have it right. I might have it wrong. Did I finish this bottle already? No. The new bottle's behind me. One sec. Ugh. Okay. So, Rex has played all of Verum Rex, right? So I understand why some people are saying there's no way he's going to mistake Yozora for anybody. Now, we were also talking about how the toy box Sora, that might be, oh no, we froze again. Uh-oh. I know the sound should still be coming through. Looks like the video's having a bit of a problem. But can you guys still hear me? I at least hope so. There we go. Okay. We're back. Little bit wonky, but we are persevering. That's a huge stress to me, though. I was just going off of memory. Can't remember exactly what he said. Well, Riku sees dreams from the Quadratum, and Yozora starts seeing these weird dreams lately. Huh. And let me know, guys. Let me make sure, because it looks like I'm a little busted there. Okay, no, we're good. We are good. Let me fix all this up. Get that out of here, too. Sounds good? Okay, good. Again, for those of you who may be joining us now, even though I finally got Wi-Fi back after 7 weeks, I kid you not, on the day we got Wi-Fi back, I blew out the motherboard on my PC. So we're actually doing this live stream on my wife's laptop. Thankfully, I keep a lot of my stuff on an external hard drive. So, yeah. Rex hasn't finished Verum Rex. He's stuck on the Bahamut boss. Do you think there's something to that? Do you think there's like a reason he's stuck on the Bahamut boss? Just says, yeah, we're losing you, man. It must be H to R bugs. They put bugs in him. It's the lodge. They put bugs in him. No, but I think we're okay now. But anyway, circling us back to the topic at hand. The Master and Yozora. You know, lots of people wonder if there's a connection between the Master and Sora, which I'm curious about too. But then again, I'm sure that'll be fleshed out to us somewhere down the line. But I could buy in again to Sora and Yozora having a similar appearance, because like I've been saying, that does give leeway to what Yozora's appearance might actually be, and maybe that's what connects him to the Master. But you know, I've been thinking a lot too, and this will be another podcast for a later date, but I think there's a new enemy headed our way. Like, you know, you've had the Heartless and the Nobodies and the Unversed and the Nightmares. I think we're going to get something new, and I think I know what it is. But I'm taking some notes on it. I'm saving it for a podcast on a later date, but I am excited to share that with you guys. Good catch, putting your work on other sources. Bahamut is almost always a secret boss. Yeah, but I think Bahamut is supposed to be like the final boss for Verum Rex. But I don't know. Yeah, Rex needed to go to the store and buy a game guide. That's hilarious. I remember the days when you actually needed to do that. Oh, man. But Quadratum's interesting, right? Because there's a sort of futuristic technology in Quadratum that you haven't seen in a Kingdom Hearts original world yet. Like, Kingdom Hearts has had its, like, you know, in Radiant Garden, you have your laboratories with the computers and stuff. But, oh, it just hit me. It just hit me. 1 second. It just hit me, guys. Oh, let's get this out of here. So, I'll pull it up, actually. Let me see. Let's shrink this down so we can see the subtitles. There is a particular line in here that I want to bring attention to. And when it comes up, I'll point it out. But remember what young Xehanort says here? What he says to the Master of Masters while he's kind of going on his rant? And he talks about how, like, the weak, they strip the strong of their power and they convince themselves they've earned it. Right? It's something along those lines. We'll get the exact words when it pops up. But he says that, like, part of what makes the world, like, so corrupt and so evil and dark is that there are people who, these weak people, they will take others' strength. Instead of earning it for themselves, they will take it from others. And then they'll convince themselves, in having stolen it, that they've earned it. I cannot help but think about the fact that, like, Yozora's abilities are all about stealing power. It's all about stealing your Keyblade, stealing your power, right? There's signs all over Quadratum, like, protect your body, you know, stuff about thievery. And again, bodies being stolen. They took away my name, everything about me. I think the line is coming up, so I want to, like, kind of pay attention here. Like, here, look, they believe themselves to be moral and virtuous, but it's all an act. Darkness lurks in the pit of everyone's heart. Yeah, you've been saying that since you were Ansem, bro. But anyway, their light is a total farce. I think it comes up a little bit later, but the way young Xehanort talks about it, it literally sounds like Yozora's ability to steal powers. And the bodies, those who are weak and who desire greater power, here we go, simply strip the strong of their power and convince themselves they've earned it. That's how people become tainted by darkness. So, when I see that, there's a lot of things that come to mind, right? I think about Lushu stealing bodies. I think about Yozora's ability to steal your Keyblade and steal your powers. It makes me wonder if that's what he saw. Like a world where where power is just stolen, right? Which would kind of link into the first words of Don't Think Twice. You know, how did I live in a kingdom of thieves? Maybe that's where we're going with this. Let's see. I think Sora is going through what Ventus went through. If the bad ending is the true ending in Kingdom Hearts 3, Yozora winning kind of tells me that Sora is now a part of his heart and their memories are mixing. It could be something like that, but I don't think that's the true ending. I don't think the true ending is Yozora winning. I think they just knew you were more likely to lose than win, so they wanted you to see something. Are you saying Yozora is corrupted? I'm saying that young Xehanort might feel that way. So the face he put to Sora was Riku's, hence the whole skepticism. That could be a reason for that. Hey, yo, Patari with the super chat. $5 says hippo character. Oh, dude, that thing is awesome. I do love a good hippo. Can we get some love in the chat for our man Patari dropping in here with the $5 super chat? Thank you very much, brother. No need to do that, but always appreciated. You let us know if the lodge can do anything for you. Oh, man. Thanks again, Patari. You're the best. To Child, gasp. A Kingdom Hearts song has meaning to the actual game. Thank you, To Child. I've been saying that for a long time. One of my biggest criticisms of Kingdom Hearts is these freaking theme songs have nothing to do with the game. And they're great songs. Not a shot at the songs. Utada Hikaru, fantastic. But the songs have almost nothing to do with the plot. Almost nothing. You gotta stretch. And the only one you could stretch on is Sanctuary. The other two, unstretchable. Just a Waffle says Final Fantasy Crystal States. You know, and that's the other thing. I don't think the Fabula Nova Crystallis being roped in is an accident. I just don't. C-Man says, let's go, Patari, you legend. He is a legend of the Lodge. Also, I do love that name, Patari. It's cool to say. But again, maybe I'm Landy. Maybe I like that it ends in a vowel. I don't freaking know. Anyway, Justin Waffle says, Aladdin and the King of Thieves. You know, people give Agrabah a bad rap. I actually really like Agrabah. Maybe it's because I love Aladdin. But I don't know. I'd love to see an Unreal Engine 4 Agrabah. You know, with like the strip, like the strip of stores and like the strip of markets and stuff, and like you haggle. Like maybe the Moogle and Agrabah you have to haggle with for the price, as opposed to everything being a fixed price, which is something I'd like to see cool. Can you imagine that, like, depending on the world you travel to, dictates what items are in the shop or dictates how much those items cost? I don't know. Random idea. Random idea. But anyway, again, when we consider that what young Xehanort finds to be unjustifiable, or what he finds to be so wrong, is this sort of taking of power, right? And we see that Yozora, that's basically how he operates. But it might be that maybe that's just how things in Unreality work, right? Maybe in Unreality, things are just being stolen left and right. Nameless Star had her name and body taken. Yozora had he got transferred into another body. Maybe Sora's memories are being taken from him. Could be anything like that, man. Crazy. The child says, I ate a Japanese fruit and it tasted like how the Palpu fruit tastes like. Ooh. What Japanese fruit did you have? Shadowflare says, I believe both the ending... Ooh, I lost you there. Let me scroll up. A lot of chats coming in. Again, sorry if I miss anybody's chat. I really do my best to get to every single message. But I'm sorry if I miss anyone along the way. Shadowflare says, I believe both ending movies are canon. Okay, so the crystallization and the winnings endings both occur. The loss happens first, but then Sora eventually wins and wakes up in Quadratum. That's interesting. Hillary Slack says, Xehanort at this stage of his life would be very against teamwork or at least grieving. Yes, the Lego version of Sora is a Lego version of what Yozora looks like. I've already been sold on this, but I'm glad you confirmed. I figured that's what you meant. C-Man says, I would love to see the world change, shops, and other details like that. Me too. Make them more unique. Kingdom Hearts 4 might be the first mainstream Kingdom Hearts game without Moogles, unless they're in Quadratum. Who knows? Who knows? Could be anything. But again, you don't know the name of the fruit. That's okay. That's okay. I was more just asking out of just curiosity. But again, I think there are certainly connections, right? At the end of the day, to round this all out, we've had a good conversation. We've touched on a lot of things. We spent the first part of the podcast kind of piecing together how the Master of Masters and Yozora may be connected. I was hoping to have something a little more concrete when I finished today's podcast, but there were a lot of things that I guess I hadn't brought up that I brought up in the past before, right? Like, I could have talked more about the whole Versus 13 overlap, but I feel like I've beaten that to death at this point. And if you're familiar with the channel and all, you know we've been over this, and we know how Yozora and the Master of Masters and everything with the Lost Masters arc could connect to Versus 13, and how by proxy, the two of them can be connected in that way. Again, we also see the whole thing, their original bodies are a mystery. They're both in Quadratum. There's just so much going on with the two of them. I like that we touched on Sora and Yozora and their bodies. For the longest time, it's been hard for me to make sense of why Yozora didn't recognize Sora if that were the case. But when you really piece together that the Kingdom Hearts 3 Sora and Kingdom Hearts 4 Sora look very different, it's very convincing. Sar Ayu says, I agree, bro. That's why Yozora says he lost his body, because he looks like Riku, implying him and Sora, or he and Riku, are deeply connected. Maybe two sides of the same coin. Yeah, it's interesting. Right? I don't know. We have a lot to learn. I also believe that both endings are counting. However, I think the ending when Sora wins happens first, and that Sora is slowly losing power. Right? Like that stripping the strong of their power. Right? There it is. Reality versus unreality. Kingdom Hearts, the game that was, versus Verum Rex, the game that never was. 100. Yes, guys! This is why I love you, man. There it is. And that's why y'all need to follow, guys. Honestly, no. When you consider the boss fight between Sora and Yozora on, like, the top of Quadratum, like, that to me is a representation of Nomura's internal struggle. Because Kingdom Hearts 3 and Versus 13 were, like, locked in development at the same time. But the truth is, only one could exist. Kingdom Hearts, reality, as Guide said. Verum Rex never got to exist. Unreality. Ain't that nuts? Oh, we potted. We potted, Andy Brew. Oh, and he raids with a party of 7 viewers like a psycho. Dude, what is going on? We've been potting. We've been talking Master of Masters and Yozora. We've been talking Yozora and Sora. And honestly, I think we covered more ground on the Sora and Yozora stuff than we did Yozora and Master of Masters. Which is funny, because I do think the three of them are I think all three of them are really linked. You know? Oh, boy. The child says, I forgot to say this before, but the Sora we see in Kingdom Hearts 4 might not be his final look, because Noctis looked different in the FF15 trailers than in the actual game. Yeah, the Noctis in those original trailers looked more like Yozora, you know? By the way, Guides. So Twitch Guides is reality, YouTube Guides is unreality. That's good to know. Giro Review says, Sora is reality. Yozora looks like unreality Sora. They look similar, just yet not perfectly the same. I get that. Yo, C-Man! Woo! Dropping in with a $5 super chat. Says, very happy that you're back. These streams are always a ton of fun. Thank you. They really are. I really have a great time doing them. And even with stuff like today where I didn't really have a concrete theory, just a bunch of ideas about Yozora and the Master of Masters, and then it just turns into this full-blown conversation, I love it. It's magic, and I couldn't do it without all of you in the chat. Seriously. Yozora's heart is an unreality Riku's body. Yeah, I like that too, Gio. I like that too. Because if we remember, that's not Yozora's body. Interesting. Sar Ayu says, I think Master of Masters might be inhabiting Yozora's real body. The one that looks like Sora. Oh, that would throw people for a loop. Oh my God, Sar Ayu. That would scramble people's brains. By the way, can we get some love for C-Man in the chat for dropping us with that super chat? Please, please, please give some love. That's my whole theory. That's it right there. But that's cool. So you see, I thought that Yozora's body might be the Master of Masters' real body. But I do like the idea that maybe that's unreality Riku's body, right? That's possible too. But again. Let me just read that again. Master of Masters might be inhabiting Yozora's real body. And that real body could be the one that looks like Sora. That would throw people for a loop, man. Ever since April, I've been thinking about the owl poster. Give me a break. Give me a break. But you gotta love it. You gotta love it. But hey, it's been real. It's been real. Let's see. It's funny. I always feel like I'm ready to wrap it up, but then someone just says something awesome in the chat. But we are going to start wrapping this episode up. But I want to give some of you a heads up. We are going to do a 4-year celebration on Saturday the 26th. I'm going to go live for an extended period of time, maybe 12 hours, maybe 18 hours, maybe 24. I don't know. But we're going to do at least one podcast episode, several streams. I still got to build it out. I've got a couple new theories lined up for the next week or so. And I'm going to do one more podcast next week. But honestly, it's been very good to be back. I've had an absolute blast hanging out again. I should have my PC back next week, but even if I don't, I'll go live on the Lady of the Lodge's laptop once again. Certainly has worked wonders and held it down this time around. So, you can expect us to get back into full throttle here. Because I have missed this. I do thoroughly enjoy it. You know what I mean? When the Wi-Fi was out for a week, I was like, this is a nice, genuine break. The Wi-Fi's out. Maybe a 1-week break is what I need. I'll feel more fresh. But by like week 2 or 3, it really showed me how much I do love doing this. Because I genuinely did miss it. For all the right reasons, too. So it really showed me how much I do enjoy doing this. And honestly, all of you guys make it worth it. Sarayu says, Landy, your community is awesome, bro. Always open ideas. No one argues. It's lit. Always enjoy being here. Everybody enjoy your night. That's what it's about, man. I just want to bring people together, have some fun, talk about this wacky series, talk about a bunch of other wacky games and stuff. Like, that's really all I wanted to do with this. There's enough bullshit going on in the world. This is a good place to come and really just enjoy yourself, enjoy the vibes, enjoy the times. But hey, like I said, we've got so much lined up. More podcasts, more theories, big celebration at the end of the month. Major love and major shout out to the Sages of the Lodge. All of you are amazing. You're beautiful. The sheer fact that none of you dropped despite me basically being out of commission for 6-7 weeks. None of you needed to do that. But honestly, much love to all of you. Those of you that are sages, those of you that hang in the chats, those of you that watch the VOD back and maybe you're watching this a day or two after it went live. I don't know. Plenty of love for all of you. I love doing this. If you're hanging out on Twitch, please stick around for the raid. We are going to raid. Wait, no way. Andy Brew raided us. There's no way we can raid Andy Brew. He raided us. Let's dial it back. Oh, God. I get so tempted. Gio says, so Sora is Yozora's stand-in since he's another version of him entering Unreality. It all remains to be seen. C-Man says, much love to you, Lenny. Much love, guys. We are going to raid... Let's see here. Who else is live? We're going to raid Meownitis. We're going to raid Meownitis, baby. If he is still live. Let's see. He is. He's ripping some Smash. All aboard. All aboard. Major shout out. Much love. Batari, C-Man, thank you. You guys are awesome. We'll see you on the next one, baby. Peace out.